I never heard him say, I think he said 10 minutes. I didn't even look at the clock.
I think 5 minutes.
a seat. Did the jury follow the admonition during the break?
Yes.
Very much. We continue. Oh, we lost our witness. Guess we do need her back. Okay, you may proceed.
Stan, I want to direct your attention to a follow-up phone call that Detective Russ made to you after the May 19th, 2011 interview. Do you remember speaking with him on the telephone
I remember speaking to him on different occasions.
on that particular date? Do you remember speaking to him?
I do not remember the exact date.
Do you remember him asking you questions about where Mackenzie stayed?
I don't remember the conversation.
Do you remember this particular conversation?
You got it.
Thank you.
It's on page 2. The conversation went like this. Okay, when you said, did you...
Your Honor,
You have to ask her first, give her an opportunity to let her see if it refreshes her recollection.
She said she didn't remember.
Well, but she hadn't looked at the transcript yet. She's got a
Take look at
copy.
the transcript.
Are you, is that the same transcript she's got?
No.
Oh, a different one. Okay.
Have you been able to read conversation?
Yes.
Did you have a conversation with Detective Russ?
Yes.
And did he ask you where Mackenzie slept that night?
Yes.
And did you say that she slept in her bed?
Yes, I did.
But that's not true.
No.
She slept on the couch.
Yes.
The couch that we saw in the photograph.
Yes.
With the sheets on it,
Yes.
right by the front door.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to reference page 56, please, in the statement, the longer statement that was made to Detective Stalvey and Detective Russ. And you've already testified earlier about what happened before Trey went to bed. Do you remember your testimony on that, what you said?
I do not remember every single word that I mentioned.
I'm not asking you for every single word. I just remember the gist of the questioning and the answers that you gave to the prosecutor about what you did that night that Trey was killed.
Yes.
You were outside on the patio with Gallagher,
Yes.
and Trey opened the door,
Yes.
and he asked you to Trey completely just outside and didn't realize that you were there. And then you said you took a step to go outside. They opened the door. take a step, and then oop, because he's seen me around at the edge. This is on of the wall because we had our chairs pushed to the side of the house. And then he shut the door and came in. He didn't say a word to me. I got up and peeked inside the house, and he wasn't down there anywhere, so I just assumed that he went upstairs. So, did you say something to Trey
Yes,
or not?
yes.
You maintain that you did say something. If you would go back, please, to the evening of May 11th, 2011.
Yes,
You noticed the book bag of Trey's.
yes,
You became concerned
yes,
when you saw that. When you saw the book bag, you thought that he didn't go to school,
yes,
and it was around 2 o'clock at that time.
yes,
School was still in session.
yes.
Did you call Fern Creek to see if he was there?
My son was not a student at Fern Creek.
I'm sorry, did you call Seneca?
No, I called him.
On his cell phone?
Yes,
As far as you know, the teachers let the kids at Seneca have their cell phones in class?
as long as the phone is not answered, the teachers don't know about it. The kids carry their phones.
This was back in, the rule back in 2011.
Yes,
So you tried to reach him on a cell and you couldn't reach him, and then did you call
I called it.
Seneca?
No, I didn't call the school whatsoever. It was right around the time school was out. He should have been on the school bus on his way home. He will answer his phone on the school bus.
But you didn't think to call the attendance clerk to see if he was in school?
No. I called my son. I called his phone.
And you were concerned about him cutting?
Yes.
He's not supposed to cut school,
No.
and he's a good student.
Yes.
And you started to get worried.
Yes.
Gowker was at home,
Yes.
and you discussed with Gowker that Trey had cut school.
I had a conversation with him that I assumed he may have possibly cut school because his backpack was at home. He does not normally leave his backpack at home.
And sometime after that, you learned that there was a body found behind Liberty High School.
Yes.
And then, did you start to put two and two together at that time?
I was already searching for my son, calling his friends and asking them questions. By this time, it was already past time for him to be off the bus. My daughter was home.
Okay, but did you start to, when you heard that there was a body found and your son wasn't at home, did you start to regrettably put two and two together and say,
Yes.
I wonder if that's my son? You
Yes.
were concerned about it. And were you at home when you found out about the body?
I was out in the neighborhood looking for my son.
Were you with Gowker?
Yes.
And were you with Joshua Young?
I don't remember where he was at that time. My concern was not Josh Young.
Did you go back to your house?
No.
You went straight up to Liberty?
Yes.
With Gowker?
Yes.
And any time up until the point when you went up to Liberty, did you have a conversation with Gowker about the Bridgewood kids?
I don't recall.
Do you remember that there were some problems with some black kids at Bridgewood and the neighborhood kids?
Yes, I heard the conversation. My son had mentioned a problem with some people from Edgewood or from Bridgewood.
Were people in the neighborhood talking about racial problems between those kids and the DIM kids?
It had nothing to do with race.
Well, they were black kids, correct?
I don't know what color their skin was. It was never a race issue. It was a cell phone issue.
Isn't it true that there's a church over on Bims Road?
There's
Where the
5 churches.
And there was a meeting called by one of the ministers
My
to address
pastor.
the issue. And wasn't the thought that the black kids were trying to take over Bims Road?
I did not attend that meeting, and I'm not aware of that conversation.
So you didn't know anything about that?
I knew there was an awareness meeting of neighborhood violence. Again, it was never a race issue.
So you never discussed with Gowker Bridgewood kids in connection with Trey's death?
He brought the conversation to me that he was going to look out for my son and walk up to the bus stop to make sure there was no violence.
I'm just trying to find out, from the time that Trey went missing to the time you went up to Liberty, was there a discussion between you and Gowker about Bridgewood kids?
I do not recall. Bridgewood kids was not on my mind as concerned. Where my son was what was on my mind.
Were you concerned that somebody had taken some cell phones from kids at the bus stop?
Troy has had a conversation with me about the cell phone issue. I felt like that was not an issue any further.
So you weren't concerned about that?
No, not the cell phones.
You weren't concerned about rumors that shots had been fired in the neighborhood?
I never heard anything about guns.
You never heard anything about any violence with any black kids in the neighborhood?
Again, the only thing that I knew of was people from Edgewood or Bridgewood would come over and was checking cell phones for a video on them. They would return the phone. They did that to my son. They took his phone from his pocket, looked for a certain video, returned his phone to him.
And then you went up to Liberty?
Yeah. You're confusing me. After I was looking for my son, I received a phone call from my cousin Donovan Hudson, who informed me that there was a body found.
Right.
And he told me that it was suspected to be an adult. But I was already on my way over to the school anyways.
Okay. And think back, you said you were with Gowker.
Yes.
Did you go up the creek line, or did you take the streets up to Liberty?
I went from Vim Drive up another street. I can't remember the name of the street. And it runs into the Liberty High School sidewalk, the side of the schoolyard.
Would it have been faster to go up the ditch line and go up that way to get to Liberty?
I didn't use the ditch line.
But I mean, it would have been faster to go that way, right?
I wasn't aware that the kids used the ditch line. We always used the street. When my children and I would go to the school and play, we used the street. We went through the sidewalk, not through the brush and the trees.
A lot of that's open to the side of it. I mean, it's not all brush and trees, is it? To go straight from Vim Drive to Liberty and then just a straight path there?
It is not a straight path. There is trees grown up.
But you don't have to walk through the trees to get there.
You have to move the limbs.
Okay, so are you telling me you took the long way to Liberty with Gowker?
Yes, I did not know that you could even access the schoolyard. It never even crossed my mind to travel that ditch bank all the way to the schoolyard.
Okay, well, was your relationship with Terry Zwicker a good one?
We had a decent relationship.
And you talked back and forth?
We communicated about our son,
And you were concerned about the best interest of your son?
always.
Were you concerned, was he concerned about Gowker being in your house?
He never mentioned anything about showing any concern. I don't recall any major concern.
Did Trey ever text him about problems he was having?
Objection, calls for speculation.
She knows.
Sustained.
Was it your understanding that Terry knew that Gowker was living in your house?
Everybody on Vim Drive, including Terry himself, was aware that Josh Gowker was back on Vim. If it was in my home occasionally or 2 doors down in his home, everyone in the neighborhood was aware that he was back.
And the Vim Drive neighborhood is a neighborhood where people are related to each other?
Yes, it's a very tight-knit.
People know each other?
Yes,
People get married within that neighborhood?
yes,
Grow up together, get married?
yes,
A lot of people know everybody else's business?
yes,
And everybody knew Gowker?
yes,
And Gowker knew everybody else?
yes.
During this time, were you concerned about the safety of Mackenzie with Gowker in the home?
No,
Did Mackenzie Did you ever ask McKinsey to spend time in her room by herself for longer periods of time?
No.
Do you remember when a CPS investigation was initiated involving the allegation of neglect, McKinsey?
Yes.
And this was in June of 2011?
Yes.
Objection, may we approach?
Yes.
Let me direct your attention to
Have you asked her the question yet?
I'm just asking if you want a copy.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I have a document here, Market Defense Exhibit number 6.
Objection?
There has to be a
Yes, we better
foundation.
come back up again.
leaving crazy messages at my mother's house. I called the sheriffs. They came out. They agreed to drive up and down the road occasionally when they was in the area. I went to the courthouse in Shepherdsville, and they suggested that I take it back to Jefferson County and do it there
You thought about taking it in
while I was in Bullitt County.
Shepherdsville,
Yes,
but it was recommended that you take it here. And that is when you were actually living in Shepherdsville,
Yes.
correct? Okay, and were you required to make a sworn statement in connection with the,
I don't remember.
could I show the witness her statement?
Yes, you may.
Would you please read this?
It is a summary.
Here's the second page, too.
It is a summary of what I've.
Well, a summary means something. Did you tell the clerk what was going on in
Yes.
connection with this case?
Yes,
And were you placed under oath?
I don't remember how it worked.
Is that your signature in
Yes.
here? Do you remember if you were placed under oath?
I do not remember how it works. I do agree that I talked to the lady and told her the issues, and she recorded it.
But
I
you
didn't
actually
record it.
you read this before you signed
Yes.
it, right? And everything that you said on here was true,
Yes.
right? So I would like to ask you what you said in this petition, if I may. Did you say that you and Joshua lived together for 7 months?
Yes, off and on we did.
The petition didn't say that, does it?
No.
It says you lived together for
Mhm.
7 months.
Now, you used the term Joshua.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you were under oath when you said this?
Yes.
You said he called me at work and told me he needed to know where I was at all times. Is that true?
Yes.
I came home and he kept at me. True?
Yes.
I asked him to go across the street to his cousin's house so I could unwind a little from work. True?
Yes.
While he was gone, I packed my things and left.
Yes.
He wouldn't leave me alone.
Yes.
He tells my mom she better tell him where I am.
Yes.
On Friday, he wanted to kill me and then kill himself because he said I am a Christian and I would go to heaven, and it didn't matter where he went.
Yes.
He said that.
Mm-hmm.
He has, within the last month, become more aggressive.
Yes.
He has been pushing, shoving, and slapping me.
Yes.
He tried leaving with my daughter, and he had taken my battery cables. Excuse me, it says, I tried leaving with my daughter, and he had taken my battery cables off so the car wouldn't start.
Yes.
He was beating on the car with a tool for me to get out.
Yes.
I got out and told my daughter to lock the doors.
Yes.
He grabbed me by my hair and threw me against the house.
Yes.
I fell down and tried getting up, but he kept kicking me. Yes?
Yes.
He'd been drinking.
Yes.
I ran into the house, and he got in, and we fought in the bedroom.
Yes.
He had been drinking. I'm sorry. My daughter came in, and he quit because he doesn't want her to see what he is doing.
Yes.
He is very controlling.
Yes.
He drinks alcohol.
Yes.
He smokes and takes some kind of pill.
Yes.
He brags because he talked to his ex-wife, Angie Young, to commit suicide.
Yes.
And he did do that. He bragged to you that. That is in fact true.
Yeah.
She did last year.
Yes.
He is under suspicion of murder of my 14-year-old son on May 11th.
Yes.
He has taken my folder that has all my important information about my children.
Yes.
He admitted to this on a text message.
Yes.
I want him to stay away and leave us alone.
Yes.
I'm scared he could do something to my daughter.
Yes.
He's controlling, that he tells me what clothes and it says to wear, I guess I have to wear. If I can wear makeup, how many baths I can take, and who I can have as a friend.
Yes.
And he has a parole officer, his name is Matt Hayes.
Yes.
And all that was true.
Yes.
Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you. And did you leave any information out of that?
I don't know.
Could there have been more information, and you were just overwhelmed with all the negativity about Mr. Gowker?
I think that's pretty much a good summary.
Was he so controlling that you said the shower, did he actually make you all go to the bathroom together?
He didn't make us go to the bathroom together. He would not let me lock the bathroom door if I was in there. If I took a shower, he wanted to take a shower with me. I couldn't. He didn't want me getting up and taking a shower by myself. He wanted to be present.
And no doubt this was stressful for you.
Extremely.
And who did you call for help?
My mother.
Is that the only person? Did you call anybody else?
No.
Did you call the police?
No.
Did you ever call Detective Rust and say, I think this guy killed my son?
No.
You did think that he killed your son? Then?
Yes. In the 19 days from the day my son died to the day that I left my home, the 19 days from his personality changing. When I got to Bullitt County and I spoke to the sheriffs there, that's when I decided to take the EPO.
They helped you. The police helped, the sheriffs down in Bullitt County helped you.
They helped me by patrolling the house to make sure he didn't come to, he knew where my mother lived.
Did Gowker continue to harass you by phone?
Yes.
And did you take charge on him for that when you were in Bullitt County?
That's what the attempt was, and they suggested I go to Jefferson County with it.
But did you take a warrant on him for harassing communications?
Yeah, it could have. They may have done that much for me.
And do you know if that case was resolved?
I don't remember.
You finally decided you needed to leave town.
On May 30th, as I stated before, I went and stayed with my mother. That's when I left town. That's leaving Louisville to Shepherdsville.
Yes, ma'am. And while you were gone, somebody broke into your house?
Yes.
And items were taken,
Yes.
Including a computer?
Yes.
And you found out later who had, in fact, broken into your house?
Yes.
It's John Robertson.
Yes.
And your property was recovered in his garage?
Some, not all.
Not everything was found. And Cassie was charged as well?
Yes.
Gowker was
Yes.
charged. Did Gowker the night that you suffered your terrible loss, did he try to control you that night? The night when you went to bed, did he try to control you? Did he tell you anything? Did he give you any indication that he was going to do something terrible?
No, not that night.
You talked about the cigarillos
Mhm.
that you had, and
Yes.
basically, you know what blunts are, right?
Yes.
And a blunt is a cigarillo,
Yes.
but you take the tobacco out of the cigarillo,
Yes.
and you put marijuana in there, and you said that you were down at the spot on the 10th with Gowker,
Yes.
and you all were smoking those cigarillos.
Yes.
Do you know, did Gowker have the cigarillos, or did you?
He did.
And was he rolling,
Yes.
putting marijuana in them?
Yes.
And were you smoking with him?
Yes.
Do you know if he dropped the pack with the cigarillos at the spot down there at the scene?
I don't recall.
They were left there. Do you know what he did with them?
I do not recall.
Did you all smoke two?
No.
One apiece?
No.
You just smoked one?
Yes.
And you shared one?
Yes.
And you said Gallagher smoked Marlboro Reds when he could get them?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if he left his box of Marlboro Reds
I do not know.
down there when he smoked it? Did you know that there was a garbage can in your house that when the police came contained a box of Marlboro Reds, empty box of Marlboro Reds? Did you know that the garbage
You have to answer the question.
I do not know.
Did you know that a garbage can found at your house contained an empty wrapper of cigarillos, the same kind of cigarillos that were found in the scene?
I don't
Were you
deny
aware
it.
of that?
I don't deny it. Josh spent time at my house.
Did you know? Do you know anything about the cigarillo pack being at your house? How it got there?
He purchased them at the gas station. He would come to the house, and that's where he would roll it.
So it wouldn't surprise you to see cigarillos wrappers that been driven at your house.
No, it's not. It would not surprise me.
Is it true that the police searched your house
Yes.
and took buccal swabs?
Yes.
And that's when they get the Q-tip looking thing and they take your saliva
Yes.
and take your DNA?
Yes.
And is it also true that the police, that you had 3 bats at your house?
Yes.
They took them into custody?
Yes.
Took them to the property room? Yes?
Yes.
And they were smaller bats, not regular sized bats, like they were like souvenir bats?
There are many bats that my children played with. There are souvenir bats, regular sized bats.
I'm just asking about the 3 the police took. Did you even know what 3 the police took?
I do not know what 3 that the police took,
Okay.
but there are many.
You weren't there when they were going through your house? and
No.
Taking stuff out of your
No.
house? Do you know how your DNA happened to get on one of those bats?
Well, I usually keep one in my car when we go places and play with the kids.
So you have a bat that you would keep for protection?
No, play. When we go to the park and play.
And did you ever use that bat for protection against Gallagher? Or
No.
use the bat against?
Never. I recently cleaned up the upstairs and I moved the bats from the hallway into my son's room at one point. There was like 3 full-size, normal child-size bats where the kids play.
You store property in your garage when you were living there? Did you keep property in there?
My sister's belongings were in the garage.
Did you have property that you kept in the garage you yourself? Did you have stuff that you owned?
Yes.
And around the time that Trey died, had you been in the garage?
On a regular basis.
You would go in on a regular basis?
Yes, my children played upstairs. Sometimes the boys, the neighborhood kids, would go upstairs and hang out and play, so I would check on them.
Did you ever see a yellow pipe in your garage?
No, I don't recall any yellow pipes.
You talked to Bridget Fraley, the social worker, in June of 2011.
Yes.
Did she take you down to the Crimes Against Children unit?
I don't believe so.
You don't believe so?
I don't remember. She didn't take me anywhere.
Okay, did you speak to her at the Crimes Against Children office?
We've met somewhere. I'm not sure what the name of the building was, but we have met.
And do you know if you remember, you had an interview, right?
Yes.
And was it videotaped?
I don't remember.
Were you concerned about whether it might be recorded? Was that something that you would have been concerned about?
I'm sure in some form that they recorded the either audio or video or even note taking. I'm sure that it was a recorded process.
When you sat down to talk to Bridget, were you defensive about Josh Gowker?
I don't remember.
And did you happen to tell her that no one liked Gowker and that everybody thought he was a bad guy?
I don't remember the conversation that we had.
Did she go into the problems that you were having about Gowker in the month of June?
Yes.
And were you complete and honest with her about everything he was doing?
I was completely honest with Bridget.
Did Gowker go through your purse and wallet
Yes.
to see if you were cheating?
I'm not sure why he would go through it, but he would. He was very nosy, not only through my wallet, but through everything.
Was he, and I guess about the cheating part, did you tell her that he was worried about you cheating on him?
I don't remember.
Did you tell her that you felt like that you were constantly under a microscope?
Yes.
And did you tell her that you were tired of living like you had been living?
It's possible. I don't recall our exact words.
Did you tell her that you felt like that you were two separate persons in Josh's mind?
I don't recall again.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes. I'm inclined to let us take a restroom break. Let's take a 10-minute restroom break. Everybody remember your admonition. Be ready to come back in at 3:45. It's about 12 minutes. All rise for the departing jury, please.